So today now I am going to the last part of the chapter acid, base and salt. So you see question number 6, compound charges alcohol and glucose also contain hydrogen but are not categorized as acid. Described and activity to prove it. So গ্লুকোজ এণ্ড এলকহল দুটাতে কি থাকে, হাইড্ৰজেন থাকে, বাট সিহঁতক এচিড হিচাপে কেটেগৰাইজ কৰাই নহয়. চ' হোৱাট ইজ দ্য মেইন কজ অফ নট কেটেগৰাইজিং এলকহল এণ্ড গ্লুকোজ এজ এচিড? বিকজ ইউ চি দ্য হাইড্ৰজেন হুইচ ইজ ফাউণ্ড ইন দ্য গ্লুকোজ এণ্ড এলকহল ইজ নট separated. As the hydrogen is not separated from glucose and alcohol, glucose is the symbol C6H12O6. I have already mentioned it. And alcohol has the symbol C2H5OH. That is why you see alcohol has the symbol C2H5OH. Here the numbers of hydrogen is 5, this is 1, that is numbers of hydrogen is 6, where the glucose has the symbol C6H12O6. Here also number of hydrogen is 12, here 6. But the hydrogen which is found in the alcohol as well as in the glucose is not separated, so it will not able to show the acidic property. So to prove this, you should describe an activity. The activity which was described in our textbook, you can mention this activity. So activity was this is. So the page number 22, the activity this activity 2.8, he may describe it, saying that whenever glucose and alcohol is kept in this beaker, then whatsoever the bulb will not glow instead of connecting with a battery. What is the cause? That the hydrogen found in the glucose and alcohol is not separated, and that is why the liquids become non-electrolytic. ইয়াতে কি হয়, হাইড্ৰজেন কি হ'ব, ইয়াতে ছেপাৰেট নহয়, এলকহল আৰু গ্লুকোজত থকা নোহোৱাৰ কাৰণে ই কি নহ'ব, ইলেক্ট্ৰলাইট নহ'ব. ইলেক্ট্ৰলাইট মানে ইয়াৰ মাজেদি কি নহ'ব, ইলেক্ট্ৰিচিটি পাছ নহ'ব, আৰু সেইকাৰণে বাল্বটো নজ্বলিব. So this activity is very fruitful for these questions. So you may describe it in the questions answer 6. Okay, so for these questions you may describe the activity 2.8. Next, why does distilled water not conduct electricity whereas rainwater does? So distilled water has no other components, that is why it cannot form ion in water. But the rainwater, rainwater has acids like nitric acid and sulfuric acid. Due to the presence of acids in the rainwater, it may ionize, and that is why it may carry electricity. That is why distilled water cannot conduct, whereas rainwater can conduct electricity. Next, question number 8. Why do acids not show acidic behavior in the absence of water? So I have already mentioned it, but I repeat it again. So what happened, acid can show its acidic behavior whenever it is ionized. So acid is ionized in the presence of water. That is why in the absence of water, acid cannot ionize, as well as it cannot show its acidic behavior. Next, question number 9. 5 solution A, B, C, D and E when tested with universal indicator shows pH as 4, 1, 11, 7 and 9 respectively. Which solution is neutral? So solution will be neutral whenever their pH value will be 7. That is why the solution which is the pH 7 will be neutral. That is A, B, C, D. That is neutral, it will be D. So solution D will be neutral as it has the pH 7. Next, strongly alkaline. So strongly alkaline solution will be that which has the highest number of pH. Here the number of pH is 11, which is highest. That is why A, B, C, that is the C solution will be strongly alkaline. Next, strongly acidic. The strongly acidic solution will have less pH. Here the one is less, that is why the AB, that is the B solution will be strongly acidic. Next, weakly acidic. The weakly acidic solution will be that which is less than pH less than 7, then it will be weakly acidic. So weakly acidic will be A, that is pH 4. So it is A. Next, weakly alkaline. So weakly alkaline solution will be that which has pH more than 7. So here 9 is more than 7 but less than 11, which will be strongly alkaline. 11 pH 11 solution will be strongly alkaline, but it will be weakly alkaline. So solution E would be weakly alkaline. Okay. Next, you see, arrange the pH in increasing order of hydrogen ion concentration. So if we if we arrange it in increase order of hydrogen ion concentration, then the pH will be less. That is why the arrangement in increased hydrogen ion concentration will be 11 less than 9 less than 7 less than 4 less than 1. A, B, C, D, E. 11 less than 9 less than 7 less than 4 less than 1. This will be the pH in increasing order of hydrogen ion concentration. So next, question number 10. Equal length of magnesium ribbons are taken in test tube A and B. Hydrochloric acid HCl is added to test tube A, while acetic acid CH3COH is added to test tube B. Amount and concentration taken for both the acids are same. In which test tube will the fizzing occur more vigorously and why? So fizzing means tomar gas ulale jitu shobdo hoy hetu fizzing sound koise. So eta tomar ki hobo, yara koise je HCl gas HCl acid loa hoise aru magnesium ribbon loa hoise. A aru B test tube dutat A tomar loa hoise HCl aru B loa hoise tomar acetic acid. So যেহেতু magnesium to tomar ki hoy hobo tomar magnesium is a highly reactive metal and HCl is a strong acid. So magnesium aru HCl or reaction to ki hobo besi vigorously hobo, besi strongly hobo, rate to besi hobo, hoar karone ki hobo yat tomar fizzing to more hobo. Aru acetic acid jehetu ki hoy weak acid hoy, it is one of the organic acid, this is a weak acid. So the reaction between magnesium and acetic acid would be less than that of HCl and magnesium. That is why in the test tube B, due to the reaction of magnesium and acetic acid, what will happen? The fizzing will occur less than that of test tube A. So answer to chemical likhibo as magnesium is more reactive metal and it will react with HCl as HCl is more strong. That is why fizzing will occur more vigorously in test tube A, but in the test tube B, as acetic acid is a weak acid, that is why the reaction between magnesium and acetic acid will be less vigorous than the test tube A. That is why fizzing will be less in the test tube B. Okay. Next, question number 11. Fresh milk has a pH 6, How do you think the pH will change as it turns into curd? Explain your answer. So fresh milk or tomar ki hoy pH 6 hoy. How do you think the pH will change as it turns into curd? So whenever the milk turn into curd, it will form lactic acid. I have mentioned the formula for lactic acid already, that is CTH6OT. So you know acid has the less pH than 7. That is why what will happen if the curd is formed, then what will happen? The pH of the milk will change. That is, it will decrease. Why? As we know, acid has the less pH than 7. That is why what will happen? Milk has the pH 6. Whenever it will turn into curd, then what will happen? Due to the presence of lactic acid in the curd, the pH value of milk will also decrease. Okay. Next, question number 12. A milkman adds a very small amount of baking soda to fresh milk. So fresh milkot ki kora hoise ejon milkman te ki korile baking soda add korile. So you know basic soda is basic in nature. That is why what will happen if whenever he add basic baking soda in the fresh milk, then the pH of the solution will increase. Here a question that is about why does he shift the pH to the fresh milk from 6 to slightly alkaline. So as we know, the fresh milk converted to curd within a very short period of time. That is why he increased the pH of the milk. That is why the milk which has more pH will not convert so easily to the curd. That is why due to this advantage he wants to increase the pH of fresh milk from 6 to slightly alkaline. Gakhir ki hoy কোনোকালে ফাটি কিনে কি হয় দৈত পৰিণত হয়, দৈত পৰিণত হলে তাত ল্যাকটিক এসিড হ'ব আৰু ল্যাকটিক এসিড হলে তাত pH এর মানটো কি হৈ যায়, pH এর মানটো কমি যায়। সো pH এর মানটো যদি বঢ়াই দিয়ে তেতিয়া হলে কি হ'ব, গাখীৰ দৈত পৰিণত হতে সময় লাগিব আৰু সেই কাৰণে কি কৰিছিলে মিল্কম্যান জনে কি কৰিছিলে pH টো ইনক্ৰিজ কৰিছিল। So we know that to convert the fresh milk into curd it takes some times, but if the milkman increase the pH by adding baking soda, then it will take more time to take the milk convert into curd. That is why he increased the pH of the fresh milk. Next question number B. Why does this milk take a long time to set as curd? So whenever the pH of the milk is increased, then it takes more time to convert into the curd because it has already increased the pH, and due to the increased pH it takes more time to decrease its pH, forming lactic acid. That is why it will take more time. Next, plaster of Paris should be stored in a moisture proof container. Explain why. So you know plaster of Paris, that is the calcium sulfate hemihydrate. So calcium sulfate hemihydrate, when takes water it will convert into calcium sulfate dihydrate, that is gypsum. So what happened to prevent the plaster of Paris convert into the gypsum? We should take it in the moisture free container. Moisture free container আমি ৰাখিব লাগিব, কিয় প্লাষ্টাৰ অফ পেৰিছৰ লগত যেতিয়া কি হয় ওৱাটাৰ ৰিয়েক্ট কৰিব তেতিয়া ই টান জিপসামলৈ পৰিণত হয়, প্লাষ্টাৰ অফ পেৰিছ বেয়া হৈ যায়। সো আমি প্লাষ্টাৰ অফ পেৰিছক কি কৰিব লাগিব, মইশ্চাৰ ফ্ৰী কণ্টেইনাৰত ৰাখিব লাগিব, কিহৰ কাৰণে, so that it cannot convert easily to the gypsum. Next, what is a neutralization reaction? Give two examples. Neutralization reaction example बहुत दिया होइसे আগতে। Neutralization reaction means the reaction in which acid and base to each other. So whenever acid and base react each other, then what's happen? Acid and base both nullify its power, nullify its behavior, actions. So that is why what's happened, both will form salt and water, and the action of acid and bases is neutralized. That is why it is called neutralization reaction. So I have already given you some of the examples of neutralization reaction. That is, তুমি যিকোনো এটা এচিড আৰু বেছ কি কৰিবা, লগ কৰি দিবা, দিলে সেইটো নিউট্ৰেলাইজেশ্যন হ'ব। লাইক HCl plus NaOH, it will form NaCl plus H2O. Next, potassium hydroxide KOH plus HNO3 KNO3 plus H2O. তেনেকুৱাকৈ বহুতকেইটা দিয়া হৈছিল, আগৰকেইটা চাই ল'বা। এচিড আৰু বেছ দুটা ৰিয়েক্ট কৰাই দিলে হ'ব কি নিউট্ৰেলাইজেশ্যন ৰিয়েকশ্যন হ'ব, তাৰ পৰা সল্ট আৰু ৱাটাৰ হ'ব। তাৰপিছত নেক্সট, give two important uses of washing soda and baking soda. Already kita discuss kora hoise, bukote ase. So I hope you can write these question answers by hearing my voice, and you should send it to my WhatsApp instantly after hearing the videos. Okay, thank you. Next I will go to the next chapter, that is metals and non-metals. So be prepared with these chapters. Thank you.